Ethan Allen was born on January 21st, 1738, in Litchfield, Connecticut, to Joseph and Mary Baker Allen. He was the eldest of 8 children raised in a frontier farming family. His father, a devout man, hoped to educate Ethan for a life of leadership, possibly in the clergy. However, the wilderness and the political turmoil of the colonies had different plans for young Ethan. The Allen family moved to the New Hampshire Grants, a disputed territory claimed by both New York and New Hampshire. It was in these rugged lands that Allen's rebellious spirit was forged. As a young man, he was known for his towering height, immense strength, and fiery temper. Though he attempted higher education, his studies were interrupted when his father died, forcing him to return home and manage the family's affairs. As Allen matured, he became a man of sharp intellect and an even sharper tongue. He engaged in land speculation, acquiring property in the New Hampshire Grants. However, when New York attempted to enforce its authority over the land, disputes turned violent. It was this conflict that would push Ethan Allen onto the stage of history as a leader of men. The New York government began granting lands in the New Hampshire Grants to new settlers, disregarding previous claims by New Hampshire patentees like Allen and his allies. In response, Allen and a group of other landholders formed the Green Mountain Boys, a militia dedicated to resisting New York's control by force if necessary. Allen's leadership quickly made him a feared and respected figure. He and his men used guerrilla tactics, intimidation, and at times outright violence to drive out New York officials and settlers. They raided courtrooms, destroyed property records, and even flogged those who opposed them. The Green Mountain Boys became legends, seen as either defenders of liberty or lawless vigilantes, depending on who told the story. By the time the American Revolution broke out in 1775, Allen had already spent years leading rebellious actions, honing the skills that would soon make him famous on a much larger battlefield. As tensions between the American colonies and Britain erupted into war, Allen saw an opportunity to strike a blow against the British. Fort Ticonderoga, a strategic British stronghold on Lake Champlain, was weakly defended and housed a stockpile of cannons and weapons desperately needed by the fledgling Continental Army. In May 1775, Allen led a daring expedition to capture the fort. Joined by Benedict Arnold, who was sent by the Massachusetts authorities to lead the assault, Allen and his Green Mountain Boys arrived at the shores of the lake under the cover of darkness. Disagreements arose between Allen and Arnold over who should lead the attack, but Allen's men refused to follow anyone but their own commander. At dawn on May 10th, Allen and his men stormed the fort, catching the British by surprise. The garrison was lightly manned and resistance was minimal. When the startled British commander, Captain William Delaplace, asked by whose authority Allen demanded the fort's surrender, Allen is said to have declared he acted in the name of the Great Jehovah and the Continental Congress. Fort Ticonderoga fell without a shot being fired. This victory provided the Continental Army with much-needed artillery, which would later be transported to Boston and used to drive the British out of the city. Flushed with success, Allen turned his sights northward. The American leadership, hoping to bring Canada into the revolutionary cause, launched an invasion of Quebec. Allen, always eager for adventure, decided to act on his own initiative and led an unauthorized raid against Montreal in September 1775. Allen and his men attempted to cross the St. Lawrence River. Lawrence River at night, but the operation was poorly coordinated. British forces and local militia quickly responded, overwhelming Allen's small force. After a brief but intense battle, Allen was captured. The British, regarding him as a dangerous rebel, sent him to England in chains. He spent several months aboard a prison ship, enduring harsh conditions before being transferred back to New York, where he remained a prisoner for over 2 years. Finally, in 1778, he was exchanged and returned to Vermont, where he was welcomed as a hero. After his release, Allen found that Vermont had declared itself an independent republic, though it was not recognized by the Continental Congress. Allen worked tirelessly to secure Vermont's independence, negotiating with both the American and British governments. At one point, Allen even engaged in secret negotiations with the British, suggesting Vermont might join Canada if not granted recognition by the United States. These dealings were controversial, but Allen's true goal was always Vermont's sovereignty. Though he never saw Vermont admitted to the Union, His efforts laid the groundwork for its eventual statehood in 1791. After the war, Ali,